review of Lycoris recoil. This will all be spoiler. It's hard to say what work you would know A1 Pictures as an anime studio from SAO, Sword Art Online, to Grimgar, Fantasy in Ashes, fantasy fighting actions realistic anime, to 86 war reboots, war realistic melodrama character anime, to Love Romantic Mind Game Kaguya-sama with excellent adaptation from the source material. A1 Pictures has made an excellent adaptation, but when it comes to the original, this is the first work I've seen of A1 Picture original anime. I've never known A1 Picture do any original anime. Maybe there is, but I don't really see. Lycoris recoil, when compared to other work of A1 Pictures, it is undeniably a failure. There are main flaws exist in Lycoris recoil, but the main flaws, when you don't even look into details and notice, is the variety. Even Sword Art Online, one of the most controversial animes to have variation on emotion, plot, things to think about, many ideas, there is more variations even in the seasons 1, 12 of first 12 episode, the same as Lycoris recoil. Many variations, many plot have explored the world of Sword Art Online. I have fun in the Sword Art Online more than in Lycoris recoil, but when it comes to Lyco reco, there is a few plot drama point exist. For example, Shisato Heart, Yoshi-san, and mainly Lyco reco continued story by Stella action sequences. So online have a lot of variation of emotions, of plot to think about, of many ideas to explore. Well, Lycoris recoil feels like it's like a lot of things. Story is still being a lot of hollow, which I will explain how it is being hollow, what's wrong with it. What went wrong about it is the fact that many of the original anime have phases. It is lies in planning phrases. Even picture staff doesn't have enough skill to create original anime. Proof from the past anime that studio have done. Many have rich story or interesting punchlines in the first place that studio needs to adapt from. Kaguya-sama has style story that has variety into it. Studio could skip a lot of the writing, goes into directing and created the scene, represent the symbolic blah blah blah. But when times come when A1 Pictures try to create their own franchise original, it failed because story needs to slow everything, need to start with the straight line, because it's too much for the studio to handle to create original anime from a staff that only work on adaptation for the most of their work, for the most of their career. This is just my speculations. For episode 1 to 2 and 12, 11 to 12, first 2 and last 2 episodes, that I only enjoy of Lyco reco, other than in middle, just drama about Shisato kinda boring. At first, this anime tried to be read or die, but failed as its mystery aspect failed because anime too focused on Shisato plot line. All revolve around Shisato, ending of Lycoris recoil being crazy, fighting anime ending. I just okay with it. With minimal limited sets of character, and some of them not even being used, made shows feels very short-sighted, focus on moments, slice of life of two character, show action scenes for the sake of actions, like fighting with Fuki for no reasons in the Taste episode. So the end, overall sections, I think Lyco reco stuck in ideas after episode 2 and 3. between that and shoot straight between Chisato drama to episode 12. Directing part. Director of Lycoris recoil don't know what he was doing. He is playing very very safe in Lycoris recoil and really failed. He is sidetracked to not expanding the story, to not focus on the story and focus on fan service or LGBT stuff or action scenes, which is the fatal flaws, is the fatal mistakes of the Lycoris recoil. Like most of the original anime, direction is the most important things. If the director is inexperienced, result in hollow anime. But if the director knows the medium very well, result in Gurren Lagann and cyberpunk anime, original anime like. But in case of Lycoris-Ke seems to be prototype anime of A1 Pictures that is just like to make it and see if people like it. We will do more this kind of things, which very well be because that's almost guarantee or not, or there will be games of Lycoris-Ke because, well, see from the trendings of Lycoris-Ke is how the trending of Lycoris-Ke goes, because Lycoris-Ke is very safe and not trying to go out of the box too much. Follows the formula of normal melodramatic growth of the character that surely will captivate newcomers that watch anime with captivating action sequences. Because, as expected from directors who mainly work on animation work, I mainly have no complaint about this director. But what interesting about this topic is the director is doing my favorite episode for the first 1 and 2, which I like. He also directed Uchu Cho E Yokoso, where is a show that filled with imagination and interesting actions sequences that also resemble to the episode 1 and 2 of the Lycoris-Ke, another anime I also like, which for the first 1 and 2 episode there is almost no interference of the script. People who did the script scenario of the call or Asaura, which writing the script from episode 2 point on, I believe. But so I have no problem. This is not the problem of the director, but the real problems lies in the next sections. Scenario. For the scenario scripted, as we say, Asaura, who did the script for Lycoris recoil, goes into the different directions of the director, which mainly eaten the whole of the most of the Lycoris-Ke's screen time and story spans, which sadly the part that I hate the most about Lycoris-Ke. It's plain, it's melodramatic. It's I don't know what it means to be original anime, to be original creator for original anime, but the script that this person do, Asaura, aim to be on melodramatic side, different from the director, which goes more into the action sides and fun stuff, which is very sad because it destroys most of the anime to driven by the melodramatic, the growth of the character side, result in kind of mess of the story that don't expand in very short side. Script or scenario goes in the way that is much more romantic and emotional, result in conflicting logic, because it chooses both story can't go deeper because screen time also needed to satisfy both director and script writer. director can't dictate and change the ideas of the script writer. This is most cases for Japanese animation or anime that I've seen. Sure, the director may have some of the influences in the work. The director has some can dictate the directions that it goes. You see that Lycoris still have the actions and fun stuff, but still the main core of the story scripted dialogue still sacrifice towards being in the cheesy romance, which rather than expanding the world of Lycoris recoil or focus on close the plot hole or mystery and story involving Lily Bell stuff of technology of Lycoris recoil as it is. So the focus is messed between the director and scriptwriter. Villain that first seem okay and smart, later is just served the purpose of nothing. Just run around shooting cheese without reasons. Other than that, script is kinda hollow. Logic can't stick through the whole anime and plain. Only showing flashy moments, momentary actions. This is partly the fault of the director that let the scenario goes this way, because the director could talk to the Asura, which is the original creator, that he wanted to expand the mystery while also having the 605 moment to the minimum, because well, it's the first seasons of the Lycoris recoil. We could still expand or let people know about the world of Lycoris recoil. Still, Asura failed at writing the script of Lycoris recoil for to be fun, dumb action drama. Quarter. For the quarter, this is nothing much more than Shizato. There is a lot of convenience in quarter in Lycoris recoil. Majima seems like exists for the sake of just progressing the anime, rather than being the whole separated identity, or that vivid of the character. Other than that, the character is stereotype, like the caretaker, hacker, introvert, older sister type, or isn't that much clear in the character, like the whole villain, like Silent Jin, Yoshimatsu Majima. I find Yoshimatsu is the most annoying villain, most annoying character in the Lycoris recoil, as my reason is different from some people, because I don't like Yoshi because he don't have the intention. The mystery of Alan doesn't expand it. The mystery of Alan doesn't resolve. So I don't know about Yoshi. I don't know about why he wanted to be in Alan or trying to expand the world much, because I don't know about him. If I know more about him, if I know why his intention is like this, rather than being stereotype one-dimensional Yoshis, I think Yoshi-san would not be another character that goes and die for like this fast. Chisato, the main interest of almost every character. Most of the idea of the character seems to just follow stereotype and nothing else. Ideas of the Lycoris recoil. For idea about the mystery and technology in Lycoris recoil, but at last, Lycoris recoil just used the tactics, actions the same as normal action gunfight anime. Mystery aspect, idea is disappearing. The technology of Lycoris recoil in episode 4, I believe, where Shisato helped an old man in the wheelchair doing her missions, that's probably the last time Lycoris recoil showed any interesting ideas and view about technology of Lycoris recoil. Other than that, nothing's along this line exists. If that's the case, technology of Lycoris recoil goes that far. Still, Lycoris recoil still Lilybell, Majima, Robota, everyone still using the same weapon as our age, as our time. In reality, no improvements. Sure, there's still some gadget using it by Walnut. That's just it. Rather other than sure, there's still some gadget using by Walnut, but that's just it. Other than that, rely on Chisato and human eyes, like normal gunfight, rather than showing awesome technology that it only exists in this Lycoris world. What awesome text! I mean, super shrinky like armor that could make person run a whole lot faster, or anything else. How awesome and fast that would be. It's kind of fascinating to think about the fight in Lycoris that exists in terms of it's like Dragon Ball, but trying to run around trick each other to fight with the gun, with the fastest speeds and laser gun. I want gadget fighting in this anime to be more variant, like Fate franchise fighting. There's a lot of to think about in the anime, like there's to mage craft. What power like caster stronger than assassin? Using the spells, what to use, need to calculate it. There's also Excalibur, and there's a lot of lores to think about in the series, in the franchise. The score of Lycoris recoil -1, to focus on one character. -1, conflicting directions and script. -1, a lot of the mystery left untied. It should be untied at the end of the seasons. 1. And pitch the season 2 with the fact that we want to watch these adventures because it's fun. Like Attack on Titan, more than we want to watch it because its story has very skeptical, unclear directions. -1, short side, unplain, straight line story. -1, unnecessary drama. -1, fairly hollow story. I could minus more for conflicting logic, but that's irrelevant to me. 4 out of 10. And the score, by my pure feeling, is so-so, by my opinions.